Hi, folks, and welcome to Original Firefighter. Original Firefighter is a lifestyle brand inspired by the American Fire Service. From gear for your off days to this podcast, we celebrate the fire service loud and proud every day. Remember, for every purchase you make at Original Firefighter, we give back 5% through our 5-Alarm Give Back program, supporting mental health and wellness for all firefighters. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen, and be sure to check out originalfirefighter.com today. Let's get into the show. Okay, let's get into the show today. Original Firefighter here. We're happy to have a couple of gentlemen, I'll say, and as we go on this show, it'll be your decision if you think they're gentlemen at the end or not. But here at Original Firefighter, we don't just interview firefighters. We also interview those who work in some capacity in a way that would also benefit firefighters if we just had a little bit of knowledge. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to jump into a conversation with a couple guys from Castle Contracting. In fact, Castle Contracting is a sponsor of the Original Firefighter podcast show. So we appreciate Castle Contracting and all that they've done for us, and we'll be doing more plugs for them. But in the studio today, I've got Brad Steele and Jeremy Purvis. These guys, they're friends of mine, but also they are professionals in the roofing business. And the conversation we're going to kind of have today is we're going to do some rooftop talk, a little bit of kind of an understanding of maybe some of the hazards that go along with being up on top of roofs, what we as firefighters might maybe look for, just in case, we are on roofs all the time. Obviously, roofing contractors are on roofs too. So that kind of works hand in hand. And then also maybe have a conversation a little bit about some of the solar energy and the changes that are coming out there and all that solar technology and that's basically literally taking over the landscape and changing the energy conversation out there in our society. And then we're going to talk about some other stuff that you guys are all passionate about, and that'll be kind of be our focus today. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
So just, a little bit of background. I mean, tell us a little bit about Brad Steele. Let's go with Brad Steele. How did you come to starting up Castle Contracting?
Well, Castle is a little bit of a new brand that we've started, but it all stemmed from my parents in the industry started back in the 60s. So my grandpa started in the 60s. My dad took over in the, 90s or so. And he ran it all the way till just right after the housing crash in 2000, what would that be, 2008?
Yep, 2008, yeah.
Ran it for a few years after and just kind of slowed down, and then we picked back up. Picked up with Castle. We did a full rebrand, full design of the whole company, and started off and blew up with it.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, and honestly, I kind of got to sit from the bleachers and watch you, grow this company and start this company up, and now you guys not only are in Illinois, but I saw you've got some work going on in Wisconsin.
Yeah, we've got cruise licensing. We've got cruise licensing in offices in Wisconsin, Illinois, and Kentucky, and now Missouri.
Yeah. Oh, Missouri. That's where my folks live. My mom lives down there. Yep. So, So obviously there's a little bit of family history going on there. And I think that, it's where a lot of, businesses come from. Obviously, it's just that little bit of legacy and
all the good ones.
The good ones, right? There's some pretty crappy ones out there, I'm sure. Without mentioning any names, I'm sure there's a few that come to mind and come in the roofing industry. And that's why we want to obviously just let everyone know that, Castle Contracting, solid in the business, definitely reliable, dependable, great company. And so seek them out if you need any restoration or needs for your roofs. But we're going to turn over and look at Jeremy for a minute. Okay, we're done. Okay, so now we're back to Brad.
All right.
Jeremy, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Doing very well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of, you've just been sort of like a jack of all trades is what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Just, from a kid, I didn't really have, anybody, the family heritage of contractors like that. But
he didn't have a lot of toys. He played with hammers and wood.
15, 16.
Played a lot of wood, did you?
Played tons of wood.
Yeah.
No, I was just, I just had an interest in it. And then a family friend owned a home building company, and I jumped in with him for about 3 years and fell in love with the trades and just building and construction, and then linked up with Brad and been going with Castle ever since.
Yeah, no, and you guys, awesome duo. You guys obviously, been over to you guys' location there and Loves Park, McChesney Park, McChesney Park. We'll get to the what's going on up there in a little bit too. So when we're thinking about, some of the things we want to talk about on this show, just from your guys' point of view, as firefighters do go up on the roofs all the time, we go up there to during obviously structure, not just firefighting. I mean, we are up there predominantly because there's been a fire involved. We got to ventilate the structure, maybe go onto the roof, things of that nature. You guys got anything out there that you can throw to our audience about, what to look for, what to be careful of? I'm thinking about
on the roof in general. Stay off the roof.
Stay off the roof. Yeah.
Call a professional.
If you speaking from the firefighter standpoint and from a homeowner standpoint, it would be to make sure that you have a professional look at your roof to make sure that it's suitable to walk on. We get up there, it's just us with a small pouch on. Firefighters got all their gear and all that weight. We've almost fallen through soft spots on roofs because the homeowners had no idea that they had spots in their roof that you could literally crash through. Firefighter gets up there, full geared weight, just crashing through. We've been on roofs that we've literally almost fallen through because they've never had anyone look, and there's been water damage going for years. Never actually showed on the ceiling. They never saw it. Most homeowners don't get up on their own roofs because it is kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
And they just don't, that's not something they're comfortable doing, but just have your roof actually checked out and make sure that it is safe so that in the event a firefighter is on there, they don't come crashing through, which then makes the situation a million times worse.
And just to be clear, here on the show, we're not here to, educate, in any massive way. I mean, obviously firefighters that tune in, they know what they're doing. I mean, they get up on, just like you said, they're up on roofs. They wear, very heavy gear. But a lot of times it's stuff that we can't see. And just to your point, Jeremy, you get up on a roof and, you guys go up there and you almost fall through. And that's not even under a fire condition, and that really is probably half the reason why you guys are actually in business is because of such dilapidation that's out there. Mm-hmm. Did you guys get involved in, we just had some, strong weather that came through, did a lot of, widespread damage. Have you guys seen a lot of that recently?
Oh yeah, definitely. We've got multiple clients up in the Janesville area, and some of their houses were completely devastated.
Yeah.
I mean, roofs completely torn off of a couple of duplexes, trees falling on it. We have one actually just south of Rockford here, down closer to Byron. He had, I would say, 70 trees down around his property, or just between the driveway and then onto his house and onto the buildings. You couldn't even get to the house. You didn't even know there was a house there because it was so covered by trees and fallen trees.
Had 5, I think, on the one house, had 5 trees coming at different angles on the house. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And that was from the recent tornado that touched down just south of Rockford here.
Yeah. So when you guys are getting on scene, obviously, whatever's happened is come and gone, strong, say tornadoes or bad weather. So when you guys are showing up, these people are trying to recover and they just want their home fixed.
Well, honestly, when we showed up to one of them that had been a longtime client of mine, he hadn't even been able to leave the house. So Jeremy showed up on scene on this one, parked at the end of the driveway, and there were, 20 trees between the road and the house. And it was an 80 or 85-year-old man, and he couldn't even get out of his house because it was so bad. Jeremy had to go in and actually almost extract the guy from the house and get him out so his daughter could take him to her house and get him to safety.
So saving lives.
Well, I wouldn't go
Castle
that far.
Contracting.
I wouldn't go that far.
Saving lives.
No, let's not. Yeah, helping out a good bit on this one. But yeah, definitely. That was crazy. I mean, you could barely even get your vehicle off the road into the driveway, and then it was just like snaking up and under and around, and you could walk through the trees, but there was power lines down around there.
Yeah.
And you don't want to even venture that. You're better off just climbing through the trees at that point. I'm not trying to deal with power lines, but yeah, I was able to get up there, and he's like, I haven't seen anybody, and his phone had died because he had no power, so he couldn't even call anybody, and no one could get to him.
So that's just that's something that, all of us in the studio here, we have this in common, is that if there's literally one thing that will give us a really bad day, it's electrical.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And firefighters are we're always exposed to that. I mean, every fire that we go to, any firefighter that's been to structure fires, you want to kill the power, you want to control the power. You guys, same situation. You guys are pulled into situations where the trees will come down, pulled the power lines down, and maybe on the house. You guys are dealing with the same type of threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really are. I mean, you got to be aware when you pull up. If there's trees down, you got to take a second and just look, identify, are there lines somewhere? And if there are,
right,
you got to then make decisions on what you want to do from there.
Yeah.
Then in this particular situation, like all the trees had fallen down, but they hadn't all fallen completely down. So there's a lot of hanging lines, hanging branches, hanging trees in other trees. They were literally falling as he was walking up through there and trying to climb over top of them. They were still falling down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them were getting hung up on other trees. So it was very dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would have just walked up through there like He-Man and just got right up to the front door and pulled the guy out and flown him to safety.
You both look like you guys could just like pull a fucking tree by the roots and throw it off to the side anyways. So,
He did. I
did it once.
It helped with your semi-pro football. Huh? Should we go there that fast?
That was the training. That was his training.
As you don't know, Brad Steele was a semi-pro football player.
Not even close.
I like to say it though. You did. You had a stint with was it the Raptors? Rockford Raptors. Yeah,
for a short period of time.
Yeah,
3 years.
Yeah.
How many wins you rack up?
That's probably over hundreds. Easily hundreds.
Yeah.
It was there.
So in 2 to 3 years.
Did you happen to look up the stats on it? Good, because then yes, it was hundreds.
Well, here's how I know that you're bullshitting, because you said 2 to 3 years, so they played hundreds of games in 2 to 3, right?
Hundreds.
There's a lot of games.
Yeah, there's a lot of practice matches and things like that. Scrimmages, tons of scrimmages. Those are all wins in my book.
They're all wins. So here's the other thing that I wanted to just touch on is that. Because Castle, you guys are installing solar energy, right?
Yes.
You guys can do that. You do.
We do a lot of it, yeah.
You do. Okay.
Yep.
So there again, just to touch on, like what's that? How is that from your point of view affecting, say, firefighters arriving at a house energized by solar panels? What do we need to be looking at?
I would say it adds a whole another level of danger to you guys' job, your guys' career, because you don't know what's happening. You don't know where the panels are cut. You don't know where the lines are. You don't know where a lot of firefighters don't even know where the emergency shutoffs. We've been to multiple houses that were actually installed years ago that don't even have an emergency exterior shutoff. It's not even there. It's not even present. So if somebody was to jump on that roof and start hacking in, I don't know what the axe or the chainsaw, whatever you're using, start hacking into that thing, they're going to get shocked because there's no emergency shutoff at all. It's a code requirement now, but a lot of the panels or the arrays that have been put up in the past don't even have it.
You like early on first generation type panels.
And I don't even know. We've been on a few of them that haven't had it. I didn't ask them. So we do a lot of detach. It's what's called detach and reset. So if we have to do the roof underneath of it, we'll take the panels off and then put them back on after we get the roof done. So these aren't ones that we've done personally, but they're ones that we've encountered that have been done, I would say, in the last 4 to 5 years. Mm-hmm. And technically, those codes have been in place for years. Like, you have to have an emergency shutoff for safety reasons, and these houses have never had an exterior emergency, and there wasn't even an interior emergency shutoff. Period. None at all. And that's scary when you look at it from you guys' standpoint, because when you start going up there and hacking away at it, it's just danger from every aspect.
Sure. Yeah. So so now the new solar panel installments, right? You have to have a master kill lever or switch or something, right?
Yes.
So that's what they should be looking for, right?
Yes. When the firefighters go to the house, the number one thing you have to do is look for the emergency shutoff, and it should be marked with yellow stickers on the box saying, big sticker saying emergency shutoff.
It kills the whole thing.
It'll kill the whole thing, and there's an option to be able to lock that shut. So if the firefighters need to put some sort of lock on there in order to lock it shut while they're doing their job, they can. It has to be there for safety purposes.
Yeah, no one comes back after the fact and sees it and then accidentally flips it on, and then all of a sudden there were lines cut.
Yep, we do that lockout, tag out,
awesome.
all that kind of thing. So,
yep.
Yeah. So, the other thing that's kind of been rolling in my head as we've been talking about this. So, you guys have obviously been on plenty of roofs. So, you guys been on any like slope roofs?
Just sloped?
Yeah.
Define a sloped roof. I don't even know what that is, sir.
I just wondered if you could maybe, be a part of the Secret Service.
Oh, yes. We try not to take our guns up with us on the sloped roof. Not saying I haven't done it before back in the farming days, but, recently we don't take them on other people's sloped roofs.
Yeah. We're not allowed
Insurance.
to. Yeah.
Insurance says I can't.
What about drones? Are you guys using drones and getting up there?
We have a company that come and does the drones for us. We have to be, something certified, commercially certified in order to run the drones. So we have a company that comes and does that for us anytime that we need something major. Like on the tall 3-story, we have a couple churches that we deal with that we've worked on, and they're pretty tall and they're pretty steep, and I don't want to be up there by myself. Yeah. So we hired the company to come up and take the drone footage for us.
Yeah. I think I've seen you lose a few drones.
Yes, that was during non working hours, but yes. Yeah, I think that one's still in the tree. And I know there's one still in the tree, and I know there was one in the Rock River somewhere.
There's definitely one in the Rock River. That's for sure. I think I remember that day you were so happy you'd gotten your drone back, and I think it was like out of the box in the air for like 17 seconds, and
that sounds about
nose
right.
dived right into the river.
That sounds about right.
What are you laughing about?
That sounds exactly about right. Launch it, the Virgin voyage, and it's crashed and burned.
Yeah. So not a drone pilot, but could work for the Secret Service.
Thousands of dollars in mistakes. I don't think I could have hit a president with my drone. It would have hit water or a tree before it got there.
Right.
Or you could have gotten drone footage of the old guy that was hiding up there. I'm surprised he didn't slip off, though. He didn't have any of the proper safety harnesses or anything
It was a steep roof.
That's what I'm saying. Like for those, like OSHA should probably should fine him.
He's probably better off where he's at, because OSHA's fines would have been crazy.
They do not like that.
Yeah. No, that, and having you guys in here.
They might have shown up faster, honestly. If we would have called, if somebody would have said, OSHA, I've got a roofing violation, they probably would have been there faster than the actual response team.
What if that's how he got in? What if, did he maybe say, like, he's a contract? Or no, I'm a contractor. I'm a roof inspector.
He was doing a roof inspector.
Oh, great. Now you're putting that juju on us.
Yeah. Hey,
we already said we're not licensed in that state.
Where were you? Where were you guys that day?
Yeah, where were you on September 11th?
Oh boy. Oh.
Definitely not a funny day.
No. Neither days that we're referring to were funny. But
we're just trying to bring light to a sad situation.
Well, they do say comedy is tragedy plus time.
Yeah.
Is comedy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if enough time's gone by for the last event.
Well, I mean, if you do, I've laughed at a few things I've seen. The days of some tragedies.
I certainly laughed at the response of the at that time the head of the Secret Service, who's now stepped down, but because her response was like, "Oh, it was a sloped roof," and we better not put any agents up on that roof because it's a sloped roof.
That was pretty, yeah.
Was that the one who was really good with putting her gun in the holster?
No, that's. I think that person's just an agent. Or
I like to think that she got caught in between.
But I will say, but you do have to give it this much if we're going to talk about it. We gotta. I mean, those agents on the stage next to the former president.
There's active shots going off.
Well, they went into action. There's no doubt. I mean, you got to give it to him that way.
Yeah. Well, and especially for him too, because you've heard a few of them say that he's actually good because he's calm, but he's also Trump and he does things his way. So but they're trying to do their job with dealing with him. He's got his fist up and they're trying to protect him. Even
I mean, Mark Zuckerberg actually had come out and said it was one of the most badass images he'd ever seen.
Actually, I didn't know that he came out and said that. And that's a crazy, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, and he's right. He's not wrong. I'm sorry, but it is one of the most, and this is relevant to our...
The image itself, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
insane.
The event itself is horrific.
A former president
100%.
was shot, was hit with a bullet.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy that we just witnessed that, and that was actually just took place. Like, that's that just happened.
And some of the iron, and it's a terrible irony. I mean, the relation that I'm making here is the fact that we're on a podcast for, Original Firefighter, right? And in this particular event that we're discussing, it was a former fire chief that was killed.
Yeah, great.
I mean,
yes,
that's right.
And one of the things that just I cannot stand is that, just as the media does, they forget to mention him hardly at all. And he was spoke about for a minute, and then it was, and again,
never heard anything hardly else about it.
Right.
Literally.
But yeah, no, I mean, a first responder, a fire chief out there was the one that was actually killed, and there were 2 other people that were injured. You can't look at that image or that situation and not realize that you witnessed something in our lifetime that should not happen.
Yeah.
It just shouldn't. There just shouldn't be how the United States being who we are on the world stage. It just should not happen.
Even more so than that too. You go the technology that we have and the abilities and that just everything that they had that to allow him to even get one shot to get off is just mind blowing.
Yeah. So since we're going to just kind of just turn a little bit to talking about another endeavor that you guys are into, or at least Brad, I know you are, is you have a non-for-profit. You have your own non-for-profit, and again, it ties sort of into what we're chatting about today.
Yep.
You want to talk about it? Go ahead.
Yeah, the nonprofit is Rooftop Angels, rooftopangels.com, and we help individuals, firefighters. We do a lot of training. Well, we attempt to do as much training as possible for firefighters, firehouses in the area. But we've expanded to do a few other things as well since I've got into the roofing business, or taken over on a lot more of the roofing and construction business. Is we've actually been helping a lot of first responders with like deductibles or with costs of emergency repairs. So, and this is something that you and I haven't even talked about yet. It's really hard to get a lot of training for like actual certified trainers together for the firehouses. So what we've actually just started to do is do a lot more just assisting first responders with an insurance claim or something like that. We help them pay their deductibles, help them get the deductibles paid for. And if it's just something that they're wanting an upgrade, if they want to upgrade siding, or if they want to have a whole deck built on their house, we help them with the cost of, with the cost that they have to have with that through Rooftop Angels.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
So it's actually helped.
But your the main goal was to help smaller municipalities,
yes,
smaller fire departments that may not have a very robust
yes,
training budget.
And we are still 100% wanting to do that. It's just farther and fewer between to be able to get the certified trainers lined up to be able to do that, and to be able to get the firehouses aligned and have people show up and be able to utilize that training as much as possible. So we still want to give back. It's just we want to give back more. We're trying to give back more in every way possible.
How long has this been up and running?
Rooftop Angels has been around, if I'm not mistaken, since like 2014. We've got a great Facebook presence.
Yeah, you do. I think you've got like 42,000 followers. I mean, it's a good sized number.
Yeah, 42,000 followers. Yeah. I think we are pretty much, we have followers in pretty much all 50 states and Canada. So we've got a really good presence there.
Yeah, good.
Our website is down for, currently anyway, down for repairs. So we'll have that back up soon.
Is that something that Castle Contracting is taking care of?
No. Absolutely.
You guys aren't website builders?
No, we're not. We can build a lot of things. Well, see, and to just clarify this, websites don't have roofs. We can't. We specialize.
Breaking news brought to you right now, right here.
Breaking news brought to you by Castle Contracting. Websites
they don't have roofs?
No, we build things
with our hands.
We have hammer. We have wood. Wait, that's.
I instantly went to brick in my head. I was thinking brick. Okay. I was like, I like box. I like
brick
lamp.
box.
I like lamp. I like roof.
That never gets old.
Never gets old.
I like Scotch.
Well,
I like Scotch.
when in Rome.
When in Rome. We do say that a lot, don't we? Which I feel like you might need a little refill over there with your bourbon.
I've never had bourbon before, but I'm willing to taste it.
Really?
Yes.
Really? What? So all those bottles what is that? Just like flat Coke or something?
Yeah, it's Coke, Coca-Cola.
I don't think he
Coca-Cola.
realizes that this is being recorded, and then the video evidence of Castle's a bunch of liars. I saw him have 2 sips.
2 sips.
2 sips earlier.
2 sips of flat Coca-Cola.
Yeah. After
This is apple juice. It's all apple juice, folks. Mom, apple juice.
you get
In case she joins in.
You guys are gonna go shingle a roof after this. The lines are kind of
Father, it's straight water. Yeah, we do have to go do a roof inspection right after this. So yeah, can I have another Buffalo Trace there?
Sure.
I mean, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before. Oh yeah.
always willing to pour for my friends.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Some good stuff.
It is. What? Let's chat about that. What's your favorite bourbon right now? What are you drinking?
I had a wise friend of mine introduce me to a bourbon called I.W. Harper.
Oh yeah.
Some great stuff.
Isn't it great?
Oh my gosh, it's great stuff.
I like to get introduced to things too sometimes.
Someday,
Have you
Someday,
not had that?
I don't think I've had Basil Hayden. I've had, what else did you?
probably Basil Hayden. You've had some Weller. We got
I
you
say,
some
yeah, I've
Weller
had a couple
in there.
different other Welders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably some Blantons.
Blantons,
You guys love some
yeah.
Blantons.
I say
you were there. You were there when we opened up that Pappy too.
Oh,
so.
yep. That's why I say I'm obviously new. I'm a rookie to the bourbon game, so I'm learning a lot, and I'm trying to catalog the names and all the brands.
We opened up that bottle of Pappy on my son's first birthday. Shout out to Cam. What's up, boy?
Nephew.
What we did, or I should say, what you did to the label.
That was
you changed it was a 10-year Pappy.
It was a
not?
10-year, yep.
And then he took the 0 out and it made it a 1 for Cam because he was turning 1 years old. And it's a great shot.
Let's go ahead and cut to that picture. It was a pretty amazing photo. I think you took the photo.
I took the photo.
Oh, there you go.
I took the photo. Yeah. No, but I.W. Harper is obviously, a solid, great, easy to sip on.
Between
You were hold on, but
yes.
During, going back a little bit, you were straight up vodka Red Bull.
Oh shoot, I'm still yeah.
I mean, that was your go-to.
That was my go-to.
And now
Vodka Red Bulls was
That
it.
is
What?
white girl wasted.
yeah, for sure. Because before that, he was into White Zinfandel.
Oh yeah.
White Zinfandel,
That was during the football.
vodka Red Bull,
Those are during the football
semi-pro
era.
football days.
That makes total sense.
And then now,
That's where the
now you're in
100 wins came in.
yeah, 100 wins.
That's where all the hundreds of wins.
Two seasons, 100 wins.
I said hundreds. It's more than one.
Hundreds.
Hundreds of wins. There's the emotional wins.
Just slamming
The
white,
physical
just
wins.
slamming white zins. That wasn't Gatorade in the bottles. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah.
And you want to be my roofing contractor.
I would love to be a roofing contractor. But we do more than just roofs. We do full
You do.
builds and everything.
You do.
So
You do.
You should see our decks. That sounded weird.
You
But
said decks.
yes, I just want
I
to make
got
sure.
you.
Okay.
Not ducks. You said,
Yeah,
I
ducks.
heard you.
Yeah, don't look at my ducks.
Yeah, don't look at
We
the
don't
ducks.
do HVA stuff.
So you guys, obviously, yes, you do roofs, you do siding, you build decks.
Well, we do pretty much anything you want.
Anything.
Solar deck. If we can do, we're actually
Windows,
working with
doors.
we're actually working with the city about hopefully maybe doing some full builds.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That hasn't been put into force yet, but hopefully we can maybe do that sometime down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in the planning stages.
Yep.
Lining all of our ducks that we
Ducks.
just talked about in a
Putting
row.
the
In a
ducks,
row.
putting the ducks in a row on the decks.
Yep.
And then we can build you a deck and put ducks on it. So you have a deck of ducks.
We use duct tape to build decks.
Jeremy coming out of left field. What sport did you play? We've been
What
talking
sport
about
didn't you
the
play?
semi-pro
Everything.
football player over here.
I
What-
mean, I played every
I'm
sport.
assuming basketball, or
But
is that, or
basketball
am I
was
making
my,
an assumption
basketball
here?
was my main, but I mean, growing
Tell them
up,
about
we
your
played
ballet career.
I was cut short. Stubbed my toe the day before the recital, and I never got the big shot that I was really hoping for.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah.
Who puts a coffee table right there? Mom.
Of all the river
I still love you,
of
Mom.
all the river dance shows I've ever seen, I've never seen a coffee table on the stage.
I actually love the river dance.
This was in the waiting room before the recital. It happens. No, but shoot,
It broke my heart. That
That
was heartbreaking.
I mean, shoot, at 7'2", like you are, like you were.
How tall are you?
6'7".
6'7".
He does all of our roofing from the ground.
Right from the ground.
Safety first.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't fall off if you just keep your feet on the ground,
that's
right?
They're like, we got your ladder. And I'm like, it's right here. It's a little 3-stepper.
We never have OSHA violations because he's on the ground. We have to keep 1 foot on the ground at all times.
Yeah.
Never any OSHA violations.
That's how good you are.
Saved ourselves a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Ladders aren't cheap.
Nope. It's good.
Nope.
That's a good $150, $200 there. Nobody's got that.
Right.
Not these days. Not the way the market is.
If we had a friend that maybe knew some people with the big giant truck that had a ladder that could boom us or something.
What color truck are you thinking?
You like red, so
Red?
if it was like parked somewhere that people could see it,
So you could
and
see
we
it,
could just get us up
and we
there,
could just
that'd
be on the
pretty
roof.
sweet.
That would be.
Do you
really
know
cool.
anyone?
I don't know
No.
anybody who has that.
Do you know how busy the fire departments are these days? We don't have time for your shenanigans.
No, we're not talking about fire department. We're just hoping that you can donate. The original firefighter, we want you to donate us a truck.
Where's your truck?
Yeah, where's your big red truck, buddy?
I'll show you my truck.
Are we in the right room for this? Or are we going to a?
We're in a fine room for this. We're in a fine room for this.
Get
Just
those
mail
cameras ready.
Mail the big red truck to us. Just mail it. You can even donate it to Rooftop Angels, and then we'll just use it. Nobody, IRS did not hear that.
Yeah. I would never mind. Yep, I'm leaving that one alone.
2 separate corporations. We do not commingle.
Right. So between Castle Contracting, Rooftop Angels, semi-pro football playing, which those days are over. You can always come back out of retirement, though.
I could, yeah. I could. I've definitely been hitting the weight room lately, and I can bench like 130 right now, so I'm pretty good. I can get.
Are you sure?
Walking tall.
Yeah,
He's definitely walking tall around the office.
walking
tall.
Yeah. Tell a big change.
Yep. Knocked off about 40 pounds, benching a good 140. I think I did 145 the other day, so I'm good.
PR,
Nice.
new PR.
New PR. Bam, bam.
So what's next? Because I'm pretty sure something else is coming up.
Something else.
You got something else coming.
Something's always coming. Man, it just never stops.
Where is this all? I mean, with all the endeavors, which one is? What do you get? What's a passion that you've got?
The building everything. Building is a passion. The construction, 100% is a passion, and it's a passion of Jeremy's too. We just sit out and we've sat multiple times and just sat out and brought whenever there's a build that we've got going on, not necessarily a roof, but like a more strategic build going on. We'll just put chairs out and we'll just sit and watch and just sit and look and start designing in our head. Like it's literally no joke. It's literally a passion of ours to be able to sit and watch.
Creating physical structures that's like going to be there. And, you know, when we build them, we're hoping they're there for the next
5 or 6 years at least.
Well, we got smart. We built them for 30 years, and you don't need another one for 30 years.
I did hear you say you built with duct tape.
Yes.
So about 5 to 6 years. That's about right.
It's the best, though. Shout out duct tape.
Yep.
Looking for a sponsorship.
We'll be getting our sponsorship money here pretty soon, I think.
Pretty soon. This episode of the Original Firefighter Podcast is sponsored by Castle Contracting. Castle Contracting offers commercial and residential restoration, leading the industry in roofing, residential siding, gutters and downspouts, egress window installation, storm damage assessment and repair, and solar energy, saving you money and time. If you want to be treated like royalty, contact Castle Contracting to schedule a free inspection. Call them at 877-512-4207 or go online and visit castleexteriors.net. That's 877-512-4207 or go online and visit castleexteriors.net. Serving Illinois, Wisconsin, and Kentucky, Castle Contracting has you covered. Your home is your castle. Call Castle Contracting today. Remember, this episode is brought to you from Castle Contracting.
And duct tape.
And apparently duct tape.
Because if you can't duck it.
Whoa. No cussing on this show.
No. You can say heck.
Heck.
That is just too much.
Maybe even hell. You can say that.
Nope. It's too hot there.
Yeah, it is.
That's vacation there. Do they have beaches? I'm just kidding. I don't want a vacation there.
I think it's so hot that it'd just be glass.
That's a great point.
Unless you really loved glass, then would it be still sand?
I love glass.
I love glass.
I stopped going for I love glass.
So hell is supposed to be everything everything that you hate is supposed to be there. So if I really hate glass, would it still be sand?
I mean,
because what if I hated beaches?
Do they like?
We're getting into a lot of things. We're getting into religion, or I guess I should say we got politics. We've got we got we got hell in this. We ain't got heaven.
Not yet.
I guess we're already in heaven. We got Buffalo Trace sponsorship. Buffalo Trace.
Shut up, Buffalo Trace.
That'd be a sponsor we wouldn't mind having.
Wait,
well, let's try a couple promo shoots here. We got time, right?
So you're saying duct tape is it's not somebody you want?
I didn't say that.
See, that's weird.
I mean,
I did not say that.
Your harness breaks. You're on the roof. All of a sudden
you see a roll. You see a roll of duct tape laying on the roof. It's either life or death. You either wrap yourself in duct tape or you die. What are you doing?
I mean, that's a tough one.
I'm not falling off the roof, I can tell you that.
No, you won't, because you're going to wrap yourself in duct tape and you're going to survive like a champ.
Right.
Talk about falling off roofs, wondering, has a firefighter that you know of fallen off of like one of the painted exhaust boots? Because we do a lot of like spray paint, like you'll get the PVC pipes or the lead boots, and now we spray paint those a lot of times to color match the roof. Has anyone like stubbed their foot on those?
Oh, because they're so invisible.
Because like you got all your piping and all your vents and all that come up, and we start to spray paint those not a lot now because it looks so much nicer than having the black boot and a white pipe or the lead pipe sitting there. So we spray paint all those color match. Yeah. Do you guys? I mean,
is that a safety thing?
Like not seeing them? I mean,
well, it is now.
You got to
now that you mentioned.
Well, you've got a mask on.
I mean, you certainly weren't thinking about us when you started doing that.
Listen,
should we be painting those bright orange?
If you've been on a roof, you've hit one at some point in
to
time.
The customer, you're going to love this. It's hunter orange. You're going to always be able to find your house at night.
But it's code.
Yeah.
But ma'am, it's code. It has to be safety.
It has to be orange.
Well, I was thinking about that because I was just going through earlier.
That's actually a great point.
Like we paint match a lot say.
I mean, here's the only. No, I can't say that I've heard of or seen anyone that's like tripped over that. I mean, I've known firefighters who have completely fallen off roofs and have badly injured themselves.
Absolutely.
My heart always goes out to any firefighters that are injured or worse. But I mean, again, kind of our rooftop talk today is about some of the hazards that we all can, associate with.
That was one of the ones that kept coming up in the back of my head. I was like, that color match, the dangers. Because I know we've had new guys that come up and I've told him like, we don't want this guy up on roofs. He's not paying close enough attention to what's going on, and he's not understanding. You fall off this thing, you're in a world of trouble. This is, you know what I mean? So
and any type of protrusion that's coming off that roof creates some sort of a danger.
And that was. No headgear and shorts in a polo, not a gear rushing, I mean, obviously you guys are trained to do this, so there's no panic involved, but nonetheless, like you got all the gear on and all of a sudden, you got painted boots that are up there that you didn't see because it blends in perfectly with the roof or roof brackets and like solar lines and all that kind of stuff.
Certainly the thing that firefighters are all about is the urgency of getting something done. Under the conditions that are usually the worst conditions. So, yeah, I mean, in any way, shape, or form, the safety of firefighters up on roofs is paramount.
The solar panels, one of the one, going back was another one because to me, in my eyes, that eliminates an entire section of roof that you guys can't get on because, I mean, you can't really go through them. You're not going to be on them. So depending on the situation, you have to go to the open side of the roof, which might not be ideal for you guys, but that might be the only thing you have because the whole back of the roof is taken up with solar panels. So I was thinking about that as far as the dangers on your guys' side is dependent on access. Limited where you can be and where you can't be. Yeah.
Oh, have you had any experience with any of the new solar shingles? Anybody that have any experience with those at all?
No, I haven't had any real exposure to it.
Okay.
What's it about?
Well, the shingles are...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we haven't had a lot of exposure to them as well. There's a couple companies out there that are pushing them. Tesla being obviously one of them. They literally look like a regular shingle until you get up on them and you notice that they're not.
Yeah.
And that's actually the reason why I asked is because there's not a lot of details. There's not a lot of education out there about them, about the code. There's got to be some sort of ability to dig through those for you guys' situation to be able to vent the house, to be able to vent the roof.
Right.
And if they're complete shingles, how do we, when I say we, you, how do you dig through them? How are you cutting through them? Is it going to be, are they able to be cut through, or is it going to be something that you can vent through the hose? Or is there going to be a certain portion of the house, a certain percentage of the house that can't be shingled because of that situation? Those types of questions have arisen with me, because like there's got to be some way for you guys to get up and do your job. And that, I would say, is that venting the roof, and I don't know a lot, but venting the roof is probably a good 50% of how you guys control that fire.
Yeah, again, it can be different from fire department to fire department. Some departments literally have a policy to not go up on the roofs.
Mm-hmm. We've noticed that.
There's been some of that, I don't know really, quite frankly, how you do this job firefighting wise to never go up on a roof. I don't really know how you do that. So I imagine that a firefighter is always going to find themselves on a roof at some point in their career.
But what's the decision making that goes into that? Like, what kind of, do you have any idea? Like, what kind of, how do they, like, just years and years of just.
Yeah. When I was a district chief and I was in charge of a lot of these fires, I would have to make a calculated risk decision as to whether or not I was going to have firefighters go up onto a roof or not. And it really, Jeremy, it goes back to what you had said earlier about, integrity, stability. When a building's on fire, it's literally being destroyed by the fire.
Yeah.
So, things becoming compromised and that risk goes higher and higher and higher every minute that the fire goes unchecked. But I mean, it was always basically, kind of a risk versus benefit. If there was a reason to put firefighters on roofs, if they were to open up put a hole in the roof, start to ventilate vertically. And there are some departments that in America that only do vertical ventilation. One of the things that I thought was sort of fascinating, talking with a good friend of mine in New York City, and Chicago would sort of be in the same vein, is that these cities there, San Francisco, that where you're built so tight onto one another, they have to vent vertically, because
it would go out.
It would, going horizontally side to side, you're putting
other whole city blocks.
Exactly. So vertical ventilation becomes critical in those situations.
So at what point in time do roof-mounted solar panels become more dangerous than beneficial?
So solar panels, whatever the weight of them, what's an average panel weigh?
Average panel weighs 20 pounds.
Yeah.
25 pounds.
Yeah, they're not much.
But there's more than one.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So now you got how
30,
many?
You could be 30 of them on a roof.
Okay. So now so say, what I'm saying. So now it just becomes weight.
I see. Yeah.
Becomes weight.
Fire, structural, and then the more weight you put on it, it's been burned a little bit.
So now imagine that,
it's being eaten away from underneath.
Yeah. So if you're the entry team on a fire going in underneath, you're inside the building, you're inside the house, and that roof comes down. Well, it's bringing those solar panels down on top of them as well.
Yeah.
There's always, what do they say? There's always a consequence.
Yeah.
To, good engineering and progression and making things better. Well, yeah, of course, we're making things better. But the consequences, and you'd brought up, for example, like electric. We'll just leave out the manufacturers by name, but EV vehicles.
Yeah.
The unintended consequence is that when they catch on fire, they don't just go out by water application. Water does not put that fire out. What puts a fire out, that's energized, is you have to reduce the heat, you have to, and time, and basically let that fuel source, burn off. So a conventional car fire, we'll say, that once took maybe, 5 minutes, 10 minutes for the fire department to put out, is literally taking 45, 55, up to an hour's worth of time.
On an EV, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Wow.
To get these, and they're coming up with all kinds of ways. I think there's departments out there that are bringing in sand, and they're putting sand, they're covering the fire with dry sand.
We've done a little bit, or a lot, or a little bit, depending on what you consider a lot, but we've done a lot of education on the blankets, the auto blankets.
Yep, exactly.
They're huge blanket, really heavy, yet weird lightweight blanket that will just suffocate the fire.
There's actually some of this is out west and sort of the desert, kind of arid, dry states is where on the highways they're bringing out intermodal cans and pushing a car fire, an EV car that's on fire. They're pushing it into that can, closing the door, and just letting the thing suffocate.
Really?
Yeah, because again, water doesn't. The only thing water does is you can put copious amounts of water and bring the temperature down, but that battery or all those batteries have to basically offload their energy.
Yeah. See, that's what,
and that's what's causing all the fires, the EV fires in New York City, for example. They come out all the time now with commercials and educational public statements about how EV bikes and mopeds being brought into their apartments and then charging. Well, they're seeing all these runoff charging stations and causing apartment fires, and they're deadly.
I know exactly firsthand about what you're talking about, because when I played for the Raptors, they used to say he's on fire, and they would just have to let me. You would just had to let me burn off my energy.
Yeah.
So I totally understand.
Yeah, you can't just you see kind of like water. You know what Forrest Gump, right? Water, just guys, let them go.
Just let them go.
Just let them go.
Let 'em go.
He's like a Mississippi bloodhound. Just let them go. Let them go.
Who played Forrest Gump in that movie?
Tom Hanks.
No, it was Jenny.
That bitch.
No, let's not even get into her.
We can, because you know why?
He did.
Because
My mother-in-law.
nobody ever talks about it. Nobody ever talks about it.
She
But
tunes in.
she had AIDS.
She played him through the whole movie.
I'm not good.
I'm just gonna say it. we can say that, right? We said we can say those things, right?
No, you cannot say that one.
Edit.
Things, yeah, there's things, but we're R-rated, not X-rated. We're not that.
Ooh, see,
We're not
stepped
that.
over that boundary, bud.
So how many? Do we have a running tally? Is there like a counter that we know how many swear words we get before we get to X category?
We are a -3.
Oh,
at this point.
I'm being told 9. I'm seeing 9.
We're at 9. We're at 9.
We're at 9.
Well, we've just gotten into the bottle of bourbon, so let's see.
It's only going to get worse.
Let's
from
see
here.
if we can get a little bit more going.
Boom. What was that?
What was the?
I think we just got.
I think
beat.
we're getting. We're getting
it.
censored.
Yeah, there we go.
I think we're getting censored here.
Oh, so we can keep that R rating and not get to the X. So we're just going to hear a few beeps more.
Okay, so now that we understand what kind of show that we're on, that we are on a censored show.
We're not going to talk about how big the decks were that we built, though.
So we've hit some rooftop talk. We've hit some solar energy, informational, educational type chatter. Poked a little fun at some things that we've recently seen in our media and things that have happened in the world. But I do want to come back to. So you do have future endeavors, and I don't know if I'm assuming that you'd like to share some things you're putting out there. We just recently saw a closing party,
yes,
for one place and the future of another.
Yep, we just had a closing party for a restaurant / bar and grill in the McChesney Park area.
Yeah, yeah,
and there will be a new place called The Parks.
Yep,
in its place somewhere around September 1st. So it'll be it's actually we're franchising. We're merging with Semino's Pizza, Freeport.
Yeah.
So we'll have amazing pizza and Italian cuisine. So
shout out Semino's.
Semino's, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But they won't sponsor us.
Not yet.
No, because basically, yeah. Maybe they will.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
If only I knew the owner. If I only knew someone.
Maybe we'll get free fettuccine Alfredo and some spaghetti pizza. Oh my gosh.
If you're back on the show, you got to bring.
We should have brought some pizza in here. We could have had some.
That'll be the next time.
Have you ever had spaghetti pizza? Deep dish spaghetti pizza.
I have not.
OMG.
It's good.
Just picture your deep dish full of spaghetti with cheese on top.
Yeah.
And then you cut it into pieces and you just eat it. It's a mess.
I mean, it's
a mess.
Pizza, spaghetti.
Sounds like a carb overload.
Don't judge me.
I don't.
Do you want to live or not?
Yeah, live.
I'm literally on a show with you guys where we're drinking bourbon together and having this.
Yeah, but this is the low carb bourbon.
Is it?
Remember? Okay, so I remember going on a trip with you a while back.
Well, let's not do this.
I remember going on a trip with you a while back. You went. Where did we go? We went down to Kentucky. We had a bourbon tour down in Kentucky. You and I went down. We had some great bourbons down there. But on the way down there, we stopped at some location. It was a chicken location, and somehow, some way,
We're just going to get we're going to get all the franchises in on this one show and see if anybody shows up and is like, you know what, these guys, we want to be the sponsor of this.
I don't blame them. Like, we're pretty awesome. But we stopped by a chicken location just outside of Louisville.
That is not open on Sundays.
Is not open on Sundays. And you randomly walked in, and keep in mind, we had never been there before, and you walked in and you're like, my name is Will. Can I get a low-carb bun? Out of nowhere. Like, how do you get a low-carb bun? Like, how do you know that this place
It was on the menu.
No, it's not on the menu.
Yes, it is. It is on the menu.
There is nothing that says low-carb on the menu.
Did I walk out of there with a low-carb bun? Yes or no?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And we almost didn't drive you the rest of the way to Lexington, by the way.
I will be honest with you that it was not good. It was actually pretty terrible.
Okay, now, and what was the name of that place?
I'm not saying it.
Shout out God Chicken.
They have really good chicken, though. They do have very, very good
very
chicken.
good chicken. But why did you order a low-carb bun? You're in great shape.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you noticing.
That's because of the low carb.
I also had a personal bench press record the other day.
Oh, yeah, 143?
No, I can't tell you. I don't want to embarrass you.
Okay, good call.
Because you had said, what, 145?
I like 140. I'd say it's about the most I can bench press. One hand.
So the parks.
Yes, the parks. Yes, the parks.
Which I love the name.
It's going to be amazing. It's right in the center of Loves Park, McChesney Park.
Loves Park, McChesney Park.
Yep.
And, you know, the fact that you guys are going down this new, and I keep using the word endeavor, but
yes.
I mean, every 10 minutes we have a conversation here, you guys are doing something new.
Yes, and it's.
I mean, are you just not satisfied with one thing?
No. Well, I mean, I have personal goals, and the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. So I want this to be one of them. And
there you go. 7 streams.
So all I need is 7 more.
I've got -2 right now.
Right,
so I just really
right now is the stream flowing the wrong way?
The stream is flowing the wrong way, but eventually we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Personally, I'm excited for you. I think that just again, you know, knowing that you have a strong work ethic and you're always going after something, and I think that this is going to be just another thing that you guys are going to be really successful at. I think it's going to be fun.
Well, and
Brad's been known to take the buffalo by the horns. Shout out Buffalo Trace.
Dude, you can't.
I'm trying.
You can't break the fourth wall. You can't break the fourth wall. I can.
I think they're going to.
I
think they might be in on that one.
I think they're in on that.
I think
they knew that was coming.
Listen, Brad just wrestling a buffalo to the ground, and he just like stands up.
Yeah, Buffalo Trace. Okay.
One way or another.
No, but when it comes down to the parks, no, it's going to be amazing Italian cuisines. We got your spaghettis. We got your.
Say the tagline. I actually like the tag. Let's go ahead.
I don't even remember what it is.
Are you being?
Wait,
who's doing your marketing?
Not me. I build things. I don't do the marketing. Wait, just a second. I don't even know what it is.
I'm pretty sure that isn't it like sips, cocktails,
no, that
smiles,
isn't.
Italian style?
I don't even know how to use.
Savor, smile, Italian style.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this one more
There you
time.
go.
So the tagline
is
of the parks is what?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The tagline is sip, savor, smile, Italian style.
Are you gonna learn how to say all that Italian?
Yeah, I already know how to do it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sip, savor, smile, Italian style.
No. You don't just talk louder when you have to say something in a different language.
Yes.
They're not deaf.
Yes, that's exactly.
That's not how that works.
No. Dang it.
I'm recalling a lot of weird interactions now.
I did get set up pretty well. Quick story. So was dealing with a Hispanic family on a call, and I had a Hispanic firefighter with me. I did not know how to speak the language, so I asked this Hispanic firefighter to step forward, please, and we had a good we were always had a good kind of running funny joke between us, and so I asked him to step forward and talk to the family, thinking he was going to talk, their language, Hispanic.
Geez.
And all he did is he just raised his voice and just talked louder. Why did you call us? And I'm just like, I'm like, I could have done that.
Can you handle this? I got this.
Yeah,
I got this, boss.
See, now going back on things, I realize that there's a lot of altercations that could have been changed if I just realize that you couldn't just speak louder to people.
Your tone.
Yeah.
Your tone,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
The
I have a
tone.
great tone.
You have to work on your inside. It comes from inside.
I'm talking about.
What's the little Brad saying?
I'm talking about
right now?
on vacation. You know, give me a beer. What? Give me a beer. It didn't work. It didn't work just because I said it louder.
You couldn't just said cerveza,
now,
por favor.
now I know. It's dos más cervezas, por favor. So it's totally different, but those are the only words, that and baño, those are the only words I know. And
Yeah. I think you
Those
got
are
it
good
covered.
ones. Those are
I
good
mean,
ones.
yeah,
I
those are
mean, if
pretty-
you're going to start somewhere,
those
those
are
might
key
be
points.
the two first.
It
that's what's
is,
important.
yeah. I mean,
and margarita, but that's
Everyone, yeah, that's
how do you say margarita in Spanish?
No, they know what that. They know that
What do you say? How do you say it?
margarita.
Oh, God.
Or
Is
you
that
can.
what it
I mean,
is?
you can roll the R like margarita,
Margarita.
if you really wanted to.
and then you have to. But if you do that, you have to move your hips.
No, don't do. I would say no to the dancing part. I would
have
just
to-
roll the
you
R
have
and
to-
leave it at that.
But if you roll, I'm sorry, but if you roll the R, you have to move the hips.
You got to move the hips.
Margarita.
I do. I actually am not going to disagree.
Okay, I just
Not gonna
did move my hips
disagree.
after I did. You're probably going to catch that on camera too. I was like, no, you don't. I said margarita.
But that's
and my
actually
hips
how.
went.
But that,
I did just
Jeremy,
a little jerk.
That's how he got his semi-pro football spot. Was like they're
They're like they see them. They saw they were in there having drinks.
He moves his hips.
Like
Well,
we can hand this guy the ball and he's scoring touchdowns to get us. He's going to get us hundreds of wins over the
Hundreds.
next couple years.
Hundreds.
Hundreds of wins.
We're just going to win like hundreds of titles in 2 years, and then just.
there's-
sit
but
on
How
the
many games did we
sidelines.
play in a weekend? One.
But
Yeah.
you also have to understand,
Yeah.
Hundreds.
I got personal wins. Remember, I've got personal wins.
Okay.
I got weekend wins. I got scrimmage wins. I got emotional wins.
This makes sense. Now the wins makes a lot more sense.
And then some days it was just windy outside.
Hey, I didn't kiss that guy on the other team. I got to win.
What was that?
Wow.
No kissing. There's
Well-
no kissing in football.
What do you point at me for?
The French do it all the time. And weren't you just overseas? Didn't you? You didn't greet any of? Did no one greeted you with a kiss?
I was recently overseas,
And did
we're
you
not-
not get greeted with the
and
kiss?
they are very prideful over there.
What?
Well, but I mean, I
wait,
love that you
let's-
brought this
let's
up.
talk about-
Prideful. Let's talk Olympics. What do they have to be prideful about? We're smashing the medal account right now. We're the best country in the Olympics every year. What do they have to be prideful for? Great food.
How was your trip over there? You
got pretty
literally
good food
just
here.
got back from Paris, right?
From Ireland.
Well, yeah, but you went to
Yeah,
Paris.
we were over there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The
it's
French.
amazing. It sounds like
to
it's
Paris.
amazing.
The French kiss.
Stop it.
They are. They're very kissy public.
That's what I'm saying.
Or-
That's why.
yeah.
That's why I was wondering.
Actually, nobody kissed me over there. All right. That,
Were you insulted by that though? Slightly? Did you get? I mean, let's
hurts.
talk about this. Did it hurt that not like that you just said they're kissy and not one of them offered one to you? Are you
well, I think that
You're not approachable?
I think we sort of romanticize what versus what it actually is. I mean, they're a very, very busy people. They don't spend much time with. I mean, like when they come in. So, for example, like hostess, and they come and seat you at your table and ask you your. It's like you better know what you want. They're on
they
a
don't.
time schedule.
They're not.
They do not waste any time.
But did
I
you
like
tell them
that.
you're an
I like
American
that.
firefighter and then they can wait on you because you're a badass?
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Do you have a way to say I'm a badass in French?
In French?
Or I'm sorry, yeah, in French, in any language, Spanish, French.
Well, in any language?
Well, what about American? Can you say it?
I'm a badass.
Shoot,
Heard it here
I'm not a
first.
semi-pro football player,
you
but
heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, we've had a good show today. We've had a wonderful experience talking with Castle Contracting and Rooftop Angels. We spoke about the parks. I wish you the best in all these endeavors. We do appreciate the sponsorship from Castle Contracting on the Original Firefighter Podcast show. I do want to thank my guests, Brad Steele and Jeremy Purvis, for your time that you guys have had with us today. And remember, people, make sure that you do follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and go to originalfirefighter.com for any merchandise that you see here and all kinds of other things that are on our website. And remember, we're not just gear for your off days, we're here for your off days. Have a good one.